Marcello Fraser, and we're talking about understanding the elements of a musical ensemble.
Um, well, the elements of a music ensemble would be pretty much the entire band, plus the instruments they play and how they sort of communicate with each other as they rehearse and as they organize any gigs. Back in term one, we all recently started the course, and we were all quite new to the instruments we were playing, so it required a lot of us talking to each other about what to do when we play a certain part and someone might be a bit behind, and how to get them to sort of come back in time with the rest of the band. And in terms of organization, we just sort of thought of like who would go first and who would be singing which song, and that sort of thing. Interaction with the audience after the first gig at the church. We had some of us went up to the stage again and talked to the audience for a bit, which probably sort of enforced their enjoyment of it, because they went there to see people performing, and they probably enjoyed the fact that we took some time to talk to them as well, and told them to have a good night and enjoy the music, and thanking them for coming. So just etiquette, pretty much. The strength and weaknesses, they remained the same all throughout, because it was very early into the course, and so a lot of us didn't really know what to do that much. But the strengths are that we communicated with each other a lot, and if there was something we didn't know, then we would ask and we would tell each other, in order to just avoid confusion and avoid just the songs not coming out right. Because if one band member is confused, he or she might mess up the timing, and then all of the timing is. And it's also important for all of the band members to be able to hear each other's instruments and sort of figure out which one's out of time and which one's not in time, which one's in time, but also like to make sure they're in time as well. So they have to listen to themselves, the drummer, which would be John, and the bass player, which would be Chloe. So it's not so much about listening in terms of what people are saying, but also what people are playing, and also looking at each other and making sure there's eye contact before a bridge or the chorus or a second verse or something like that.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, Marcello. I'm just going a little bit more about the weaknesses, because like, without criticising anyone, what kind of other weaknesses do people have in terms of like their performance ability or their technical ability, and how did you kind of overcome that?
Well, myself, with my two fingers, it's kind of difficult to bend to sort of close them properly when these two are open. So when it comes to fretting chords on a guitar, it's very painful, because I'll have to sort of close this finger whilst keeping this one open, and then close this one, which is really hard to do because something I have in my hand. So that's one of the difficulties I had with actually playing the guitar, is that it was really painful, not around the fingertips, because I had played guitar before, so I was used to it, but I wasn't used to playing for long periods of time, which were just kind of...
Okay, so there was some sort of difficulties with people in the ensemble sort of being able to learn their parts quickly enough because they're technical skills, or they've got issues like that. So how did you guys cope with that? Because you performed really well. So how did you get over the problems?
I guess it's just learning different techniques for how to finger a chord, or how to hit a snare, or how to do a bass line. I think people just overall looked up different techniques online on
good.
If they had difficulty doing something,
Yeah.
then probably I myself did look up different variations of chords because I could play a chord the way it's meant to be played, but there's also variations of that chord which make it a lot easier.
Different inversions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. And what about individual practice? Do you think that's important as part of the ensemble?
Yes, because that way, say someone's been practicing individually for a long time and they sort of kind of changed up the song a bit and added some of their own ideas onto it. That person would then bring those ideas to the band, and some of it would go in because it's sort of an idea that makes this repertoire more than just a cover, because these are some original ideas going into a song that's already been made, and it fits with the song. So
okay, excellent. Thank you, Marcello.